Hey people, Indrid here, 1v1, Calderis Refinery blue side. Tunnel Snake is a Warboss, a melee hero, walking through objects, very strong offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Goth's elite scheme there. Up against red side Machine Elf with a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. Alpha Legion elite scheme here. Big fellas going at it. I want to see anger, I want to see violence, I want to see blood, I want to see some Daka. If we don't get all of these things, this game has failed us. Double shooters up for Tunnel Snake. Chaos Lord's gone to the mid VP point, it seems. Might eat some Daka there. Shooters are generally sent to the flanks at the start, I think. Warboss is going down the eastern flank, I guess, knowing that the Chaos Lord will go mid and he couldn't really challenge him at the moment. Warboss with 920 health and the Chaos Lord with 1000 health. The Chaos Lord does power melee damage but not as much DPS as the Warboss. Warboss has got 42, I think it is, melee DPS. Chaos Lord 26 or something power melee. Probably wins the fight, I would think, even though it's not as much raw DPS. More of it gets through because it's power melee, and he's got killed a week. Probably a close fight though. Chaos Lord's found some shooter boys. Sluggers are going to go in, trying to bait out that kill the week, I think. Watching for the energy to go down. There it is. They couldn't bait it out. They were all in and committed. They're going straight back after him though. It's a bunch of Daka, double shooters and sluggers on the Chaos Lord. Kills one slugger, makes them retreat. Heretic's just hanging out there. Just beasted through them. Did not think he'd stand up that well against sluggers and double shooters, but I guess they are completely unupgraded level 1 fellas. And he got a really full-on kill of the week. It's basically as good as you can get, surrounded by sluggers over there. Meanwhile, in the mid, Warboss has found some Chaos Space Marines. Smacks that fella pretty good. Already used his stomp. There's some Pawn Worship to help him get away with +2 speed. A little bit of Doom Blasting to suppress this guy, because unlike the Chaos Lord, he can suppress this guy. Would love him to get like a mega armored, even heavier armor that makes him immune to suppression or something. You probably have to tone down his mobility a bit, perhaps. Angry bits and non-suppression would be pretty nuts. Here come Noise Marines for Machine Elf. Double shooters looking to go through the mid, I think now. Yep, sluggers are capping. No, shooters are capping. That's sluggers and shooters going through the mid. These guys with their big shooters, so they can suppress heretics that harass them. Aspiring champion on the way for these guys. There's some more Corn Worship to get out of base, and Noise Marines. I wonder if they're going to swing right here to keep an eye on that power. Looks like they are swinging right. They're going to go for it early on, I think. Warboss gets a decap on a natural wreck point. Goes straight after the Noise Marines. Manages to get the stomp animations of fire, but it doesn't knock the Noise Marines out of what they were doing. That's their cacophony, which knocks down all surrounding infantry units. Aside from Chaos Lords, of course, they're too big for that. Orks on the power though. Are the Noise Marines going to join this defense? They are. I thought they'd take this opportunity to go up to that northeast power and bash it, but they're going to take part in the defense here. Mess with those shooters. That Sonic Blaster shuts down ranged weapons. Also does some pretty good AoE damage. Shuts down ranged attacks in general, really. You can't chuck grenades while you're affected by it, I believe. Which is a pretty big deal. Grenades can do a lot of work. No orky grenades around though, not yet. I wonder, does it stop the stick bomber throws? That'd be pretty amazing. Don't think I've ever noticed them firing at stick bombers and see if they chuck their stuff still. Chaos Space Marines have their Eternal War. 20% more melee and ranged DPS. Chaos Lord will run interference, while those Noise Marines go after those power gens. That Sonic Blaster will shake apart structures such as generators very effectively. Warboss has come after the Chaos Lord. He's run interference quite well. Dragged them through. Heretics can also help to defend the power bash. As in, facilitate their power bash, I mean. One generator goes down so quick. And they're ground targeting between the gen and the node there, as you see. damage them both. More heretics showing up. Got burners up on the sluggers. Are they going to engage? There we go. Chaos Lord's helping out the heretics now. A little bit of indecision there from the sluggers. There's Ard Boys up on them from the global bar of the Warboss. 25% damage resist. But it was too much there for them to take on. More heretics showed up. 2 gens down. I'm sure they'd like to get them all. Chaos Lord with a really well-timed special attack there, actually. Heretics can Doom Blast him as well. He's gone. They're going to get a full bash, I think. Heretics need to run, though. Chaos Lord still has a huge amount of hit points and now has a combi flamer. So he can do that. That's pretty painful. There's the immolate. Also does some really good DPS as he's chasing stuff around now. Or just put himself into range stance and shoot at stuff without chasing it around. He'd do pretty well with that too. Full bashes in. Doesn't feel the need to stick around. They didn't take up points while doing that though with other stuff. Everything was in on the bash. And Tunnel Snake did get 2 nodes on the flanks, which mitigates some of the losses. Noise Marines still going after stuff. CSM backing them up. Sluggers down the east side now. Maybe go after some of these rec points that are fully matured. Warboss is going through the mid. No, he's going east, I think. Not sure why. Maybe they don't know where these Noise Marines are. Now he's changed course. Might go for the central VP. No, he's going to run interference on the west side. Sluggers will get the VP, I think. Well, they'll try to. They'll get a decap, it's for sure. There's some Corn Worship. Help these guys get away. Oh, they didn't get a decap, though. A little bit of a mistake there from Machine Elf. Yep, and they know it. They for a second, looked like they were going to go back and try and get the decap. But the Warboss was coming in. And he's got spiky armor now. And angry bit, so he's ready to roll. Ready to scrap. Spiky armor really helps him against the mass of melee heretics. Spiky armor dealing damage to attacking units in an area around the Warboss. So really painful when he's surrounded by stuff. For the stuff that's surrounding him. And he can also use Now I'm Angry, as he has done. That's that yellow hexagon buff you see on him over there. For health regen and damage buff, it's a really good ability, Angry Bits, or Now I'm Angry. Chaos Lord's in, going after the sluggers. CSM, interestingly, are shooting at the Warboss rather than the sluggers. Ard Boys on them, they come in, they were really low, but because they had the Ard Boys and the burners up, I think it persuaded Machine Elf to leave. They might have been able to do some work though. They shot them as they come in, and then the Chaos Lord turned around and helped them as he is now, and they didn't went into melee stance. Could have messed up the sluggers quite badly. Not sure what they're trying to do here. You can't escape him. Oh, Knob Leader's up. That's what they're doing. Yeah, that would have been potentially a really bad fight for the CSM to stay in then, if the slugger Knob popped up halfway through. There's User Choppers. There's only 2 models left though. 1 model left. That's a waste of User Choppers. It's not that expensive though. I think it's only 75 red. Gives a big melee damage bonus and a big melee skill bonus. It's pretty damn good. Lasts 20 seconds, I think, as well, which is typically more than enough to see you through an entire engagement. War truck on the field for Tunnel Snake here. Noise Marines are going to defend rather than go up the east side and bash. There's that Corn Worship. Great synergy with Noise Marines, of course, because they need to get quite close to fire their Sonic Blaster. Tunnel Snake doesn't overstay their welcome. They're backing off. War truck can come in, help these guys reinforce off it. There you go. Also got a gun on it as well. For some Daka. I don't think they got a bash there. Or did they? Or was one of them rebuilt? Maybe they did get one. Chaos Lord is level 2. Warboss is level 2. Nothing else yet for the Chaos Lord in terms of war gear. Does get the tier 2 rolling. And I'd love to see a Blood Crusher. It might force the Warboss to get the Power Claw. Nope, it's just Plague Marines. There's Now I'm Angry. A little bit of a burst of Now I'm Angry. Uses it to escape. Sluggers on the power. And they're happy to go in here. There's a lot of heretics, fellas. It's a bad fight to take. He's going to lose those fully upgraded sluggers there. Bit of a rush of blood to the head for Tunnel Snake, I think. It's a really dicey fight to take and a really bad retreat path for them. Maybe they thought the war truck was closer than it was or something, and they could just back off to it. Noise Marine's getting a Blastmaster up, which I find kind of surprising. It's always nice to have, but the Sonic Blaster's so good. I think it will still give them... They still have the impetus to go after the power kind of thing if they have the Sonic Blaster. Now they just kind of sit mid with this, and it might do a huge amounts of work, it might not. I think with the Sonic Blaster you're guaranteed pretty good work getting on that power, harassing your opponent. But we'll see. Maybe it'll get him a whole bunch of kills. It's a Death Dread on the way for Tunnel Snake. Burners and bits immediately. It's not choppy infantry, don't listen to that thing. Tons of Daka on the Heretics. And they actually stole that wreck point. The map looking quite blue actually. Tunnel Snake's done well with the points while they've harassed the power area. Plague Marines start getting shots in. Got that snaring Nurgle missile launcher. Blastmaster also gets a shot, and there's the kill. Blastmaster already doing some work. Double shooters need to just flee. CSM could do some more damage in melee here if they can be bothered. Nope. Here comes a Death Dread. Does it go straight for the Plague Marines? It does. Wants to tie them up so they can't fire their missile. You can sometimes get far enough away because of the melee animations so that you can turn and shoot. Blastmaster gets a decent hit. Here comes the Warboss though, and he's got a Power Claw. 95 heavy melee DPS does not take many swings to kill retreating Noise Marines. 2 swings and they're dead at level 2, I believe, if they're retreating. Maybe even if they're not. Now the CSM are going to feel his anger. Angry Bits gives him a bunch of health regen. And is it 35% damage increase? That's pretty crazy with a Power Claw, to be honest. Kills that guy. Now got a Death Dread for support to fight the Chaos Lord. Is it enough? It is. So I don't think he gets a... Oh, he's down. I don't think he gets a melee damage upgrade when he gets the Combi Flamer. I think it's the same fancy sword. Tunnel Snake hitting back hard then. Weird Boy now? Oh no, it's Sluggers now. Wants them Sluggers back. But for sure we were going to see a Weird Boy because the Warp Vomit could help protect the Death Dread from the Plague Marine shots and stuff. And just generally mess with Machine Elf's army. Now they go tier 3, Tunnel Snake. Warboss taking hits. Does get the cap though and then escapes. The other Plague Marine fellas have those damage over time Plague Bolter things. Yeah, I don't think Machine Elf's going tier 3 anytime soon. They should have a decent stack of power when they get there. Won't be too long for a Nob Squad. Won't be too long. We might see the Blood Maul in response to a Nob Squad. Or maybe Chaos Lightning Claws, I should say. I think if they do see the Nob Squad, they want to just save up for tier 3 and Terminators maybe. It's a bit of a way to go though, isn't it? I think save up for tier 3 Terminators. You could just go double Bloodletters though. That might be safer in terms of being able to hold on for the tech up. Oh wow. Bye-bye Sluggers. A single shot was that from full health. Holy crap. Blastmaster's doing work here. They're going to facilitate a kill on those shooters as well. Mark of Corn CSM getting a kill after the Blastmaster's shot. Tunnel Snake down to 2 units. Mark of Corn fellas with the bad plasma pistol, 7.8 DPS. Good power melee chain axes though. I think they're going to get the Death Dread here. They are. Tunnel Snake is down to Shooter Boys and a really pissed off Warboss. Gets the stomp. Chaos Lord is here. He's not bothered by the stomp. Hard Boys on himself and use your choppers going in hard on this fight against the Chaos Space Marines. And he's tearing them apart as you can see. Chaos Lord gets killed a week to help them escape. He's going straight back after him here. I think Hard Boys is 125. I think Nob Squad is on the way. Basically needs one, right? Might need 2 of them. Gonna have very little upkeep now because everything's dead and has decent power income. So I don't think they're out of it. VP's very even. Still a 300 or so on the counter. Chaos Lord trying to get on the shooter boys, but he's taking a lot of damage chasing here. Warboss with the claw does not mess around. Oh, gets the kill! Sloppy there from Machine Elf to chase that long. It's a big hit on retreat there. Shooter boys get their capping game going. What is this though? It's Heretic trying to bash power. They bashed one of the gens already. Dub Squad's going to have a word. Always run so awkwardly, don't they? I remember it used to be that years and years ago in retail used to have a larger entity size, and they used to like get in each other's way all the time, and it made their pathing really bad. But they changed that, so they kind of merge into each other a bit and can move a bit better. Already got meaner and greener. The Knob Leader's on the way. He's got over 1,000 hit points by himself. Mark of Corner CSM coming in, and there's Bloodlust. Hard Boys up on the Knob Squad. There's the Knob Leader. Bloodlust is a nasty thing to use here though. It's a global ability of the Chaos Lord, giving a stacking damage buff whenever any of your units lands a strike. You get more of a buff for a melee strike rather than a ranged attack. I think it only affects our infantry though. But yeah, great way to take on that Knob Squad. If he gets Bloodletters up now, these are just blood sacrifice Bloodletters. If he gets some permanent Bloodletters, I think it'd be okay. And then an upgrade for the Chaos Lord maybe, another weapon. Or even the Demonic Visage to debuff them. Tunnel Snake's in trouble. And now the points are very red. 303 to 304. 2 to 1 for Machine Elf. Need to be looking at that triple though, I think, to get some breathing room. Because if Tunnel Snake can just stay in the game and get another Knob Squad, buff the crap out of them with a Warboss beside them. I mean, even Bloodlusted Bloodletters might not even be enough. Plague Marines get a decap. CSM are going to bash one gen, but I think that might be it. Yeah, need to run, fellas. Crack. They didn't get a kill, though. Warboss is sad. Level 6, though, the fella. Level 3 Chaos Lord here. Just stand back and shoot him, buddy. Don't go into melee with him. You've seen what happened a couple of times. Here's Mantle of Hate. Thought that was going to be Mantle of Armored Inferno. Here's a Knob Squad. Don't have their hammers, but I think it's much better to get another Knob Squad up than to get the hammers in. Still not seen anything else from Machine Elf. They're kind of struggling to get their requisition up because of all the reinforcements and stuff. Blast Master. Direct hit on the Warboss's face. Gonna have to charge into him now. They immediately leave. Didn't even get up to him. I mean, you can't blame him. Chaos Lord almost died again. Crack. Didn't kill one. Shooter boys are still alive. They're gonna get that central VP. It's commandos for Tunnel Snake, not a second Knob Squad. So he's not gonna be going for brute force. He can set up a good Knob Squad fight with Love the Daka. Burner bombs in on the double Heretics would also be pretty brutal. How have the Heretics done in terms of level? Level 3 and level 2. Both with aspiring champions. They are going to get a 2-to-1 cap here, Tunnel Snake. This Warboss is having a huge influence on the game. Huge influence. I'm going to have to like dedicate a Heretic squad to him early to Doom Blast him so he can't get into the fight. And now Flash Kits, he's just getting all the cool tier 3 infantry fellas. And why not? Here's the sneaky commandos. Don't have their Knob Leader yet. He provides a rocket launcher, so don't really need him at the moment. And there's some DPS. There's Bloodlust again from Machine Elf. Knobs pop their frenzy, and there's Hard Boys as well. Bloodlust lasts for quite a while, I think. Commandos, they're going to chuck a burner bomb. Knob Squad having to get the hell out of there. That was a lot of damage. And they wipe. I think the Knob Squad just wiped out. Stayed in that fight too long. Bloodlust is nuts. Here's a Chaos Dreadnought now. There's another option. But I guess the knobs are gone now. So maybe you just keep it with an autocannon here. Flash kits are in. with their snaz guns. But it's going to be rough for Tunnel Snake. It's going to be rough. Warboss is still a massive threat though at level 9. 1600 hit points. And they retain the VP. I mean, Machine Elf must be pleased he took down a Knob Squad, but didn't get the VP out of it. CSM are doing quite well here, level 3. Not sure what the cooldown is on that Bloodlust. It's so good though. It's going to be a Mark of Khorne, Chaos Dreadnought, which can go toe-to-toe with the Warboss and mess him up. Just a little bit of angry, now I'm angry there to get some health regen. Is it percentage? No, it's 7.5 per second. 187 to 244. Did not go for the decap here. Maybe he could have charged the Warboss through and got onto it. Tries to consolidate his position a bit more instead. 3 shooter boys are going to go the west side to cap. They're basically for capping now. Doesn't really have an answer to this Chaos Dreadnought. Could try to fight it with the Warboss, with the Claw, but it's going to be really tough, even if he's level 9 and buffed up with Ard Boys and stuff. It's a tank. A tank is the response. I mean, it's a pretty good response. They can get on the Plague Marines. It won't have a huge threat. It's easier said than done though. I mean, you charge into the Plague Marines and then the Dreadnought smacks you. Gets some heretics killed, but then has to flee. They're terrifying. Mark of Khorne, Chaos Dreadnought. Up to 1200 hit points, level 1, which is not bad at all. Shooter boys are thinking hard about bashing the power. Come on, fellas, you can do it. You can do it, fellas. 176 to 224. The tank is up, and it needs to do quite a lot of heavy lifting here for Tunnel Snake. They have committed quite hard with the Dreadnought. It's on the power. Blastmaster might get a good shot here, though, and does get a really good shot. Tunnel Snake can't see this firing arc like we can, so they can't be sure to keep it just outside of range kind of thing. It's getting some good shots on the Dreadnought, though. They're just kind of sitting there. Yeah, the looted tank doesn't want to go more forward because of the Blastmaster. And the Warboss isn't in base, so he's not getting good health regen here. That was weird. We have Commandos with Rocket Launcher. They can help against the Dreadnought for sure. They can chuck the Burner Bomb on these guys. There it is. Then try to create some space and get some shots on the Dreadnought. Blastmaster gets another really good shot. And the CSM are on it. And they've got a Melter Pistol and power weapons. And they're going to take it down. Just couldn't quite put that fight together. Tunnel Snake couldn't approach. The tank was too far forward too early. Could have been great though. The Warboss was on the CSM earlier. And it wasn't too close to get shot by the Blastmasters there. Flash gets doing some good work. And they do have a 2-to-1 cap, Tunnel Snake. But there's the GG. They've just lost too much at this point. You know what? They had some resources. They could have got another Knob Squad up there. But the Warboss would have been down. And the Warboss is a massive thing in these fights. I mean, they had some VPs there. Maybe they could have pulled it out, but it would have been really tough. I mean, Machine Elf has tons of resources too. Could have gone tier 3, dropped a nuke or dropped Terminators or something. It's a good game though. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.